All right. It is Monday, May 26th, and we are here once again for another edition of our Monday night online open mic here with the Barbed Open Mic series. We're based out of El Paso, Texas, but because this is online, we get to have people join us from all over the country and all over the world. My name is Richie. I'll be your host and MC today. I'm also the project director of BWOMS, this series. And if you are in the El Paso region, you can join us online, but you can also join us in person. Throughout each week, we have various mics and special events throughout the city, different venues, different nights. So this week, as we prepare to close out May, that was really quick. I was also just really busy. That's why it felt quick. But anyway, if you want to join us, we are here every Monday online. First of all, you never have to leave your house, so you just need the internet connection, Zoom, and some sort of webcam so you can share your work. This open mic is in particular, we welcome poetry, prose, and music, so singer-songwriters, instrumentalists, as well as originals, any kind of original of your own or covers. That also includes cover poems. We highly welcome the cover poems. So it's a really great way to kind of find your own voice and even just celebrate the work of others, which I think is part of the joy in art and in like literary arts too. The other thing is, if you do want to join us this week, we do have our open mic at Mona Bar of Modern Art that is open to music, poetry, comedy, drama, prose, dance, any kind of like performance art. We encourage it. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. The show starts after 9, and that is downtown on San Antonio Street. Come on through. Word on the street is we have a special guest on Tuesday. So I'm not gonna spoil anything, but come on through. There's a big creatives mixer. Starts a little early. I'm not going to be able to make it, unfortunately, because I have to set up for the open mic. But if you do want to come to the open mic after that, that's also like highly encouraged because we are there late. Wednesday, we have another edition of our Storytellers Night, something we're calling Storycraft. And Storycraft is a unique take on the open mic in which not everyone is going to get to read that night. We generally choose up to four. If it goes faster than we imagine, then we I'm gonna mute you guys really quick because there's a lot of noise going on in the background. Okay, yeah, usually we have choose up to 4 or 5 readers, and through you put your name in a little paper, throw it in a goblet, and Fernando, aka Grizz, chooses a name. If you get your name gets chosen, you get up to 15 minutes to share a selection of writing, prose. So fiction, nonfiction, even if it's a prose poem, right? Even if it's just maybe even a longer poem that you might not normally get to read. We had the luxury of getting Robin sharing a poem in that regard last time, and it was a really enjoyable, funny poem. A lot of people picked up on stuff. So yeah, you have up to 15 minutes to read, and then after that, 15 minutes of I guess audience interaction. Comments, feedback, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's Storycraft. If you're interested, sign up starts at 6:30. We draw the first name at 7, but that does not mean if you can't make it that early, show up when you can. We try and go till a little around 9. We don't want this to be too late of an event. And then of course Thursday, it's the last Thursday of the month. You guys, if you know, you already know, but if not, we have our open mic at Old Sheepdog Brewery. And there's going to be a vendor from Mexico doing like a special pop-up event. He makes like toys, monster toys, I think. Old Sheepdog posted about it. You can find more about that later. But of course, our Thursday mic at Old Sheepdog is hosted by Kit, who will be reading later today, and you all know. So, lastly, if you guys are tuning in, just say hello in the chat. It's always great to know who's tuning in, and really it just supports the show. So shout out to Lex. See you there. What's up? What's up? Always good to see you in the chat. Let us know you're here because otherwise we don't know. You know, it's fun to see and interact with our audience as well. So without further ado, okay, we do have a slightly different lineup than we usually have, but it's good. It's good to switch it up a little bit. So we're gonna go to kick things off today with our friend in Greenfield, Massachusetts. Joining us with some poetry and a cappella song, we have Storm. So, Storm, when you're ready, go ahead and do your thing. I'm going to get you in the spotlight right now.
Okay, and since we're mixing it up, I'll start with a cover poem. This is called The Gift to Sing by James Weldon Johnson. Sometimes the mist overhangs my path and blackening clouds about me cling, But oh, I have a magic way to turn the gloom to cheerful day. I softly sing. And if the way grows darker still, shadowed by sorrow's somber wing, with glad defiance in my throat, I pierce the darkness with a note and sing and sing. I brood not over the broken past, nor dread whatever time may bring. No nights are dark, no days are long, while in my heart there swells a song, and I can sing. James Weldon Johnson, 1871 to 1938. That's on my desk beside me every single day. And something for Memorial Day. After taps. I dream of the war wounded and missing in action, see guns strewn like dandelions, hear the cries of the unaided, their own makeshift bandages will kill them. I am searching for my brother, his father-in-law, his mother's brother. Have you seen them? Their eyes shattered like exploded hand grenades, their hands moving as rapidly as cartridge belts, firing even when their bodies are still. Tonight I feel their gangrened legs stretching to climb under my skin. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn. Timothy was the name of the man who used to be, till he caught a bullet wrong in a land across the sea. 69 was the year when Timothy was called up. They toasted his conscription with a drink from a loving cup. 70 was the year that he went to the front line. He wrote her lots of letters, was careful all the time. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn. 71 was when the wrong bullets found their mark while he scouted in while he scouted out the jungle. His troops shot him in the dark. 72 was when they brought the hero home with a medal on his chest and slow death in his bones. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn. 73 was when Timothy finally died, since his suffering was over. Hardly a person cried. 74 was when we finally left the war. 58,000 American men had died, and it shattered millions more. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn. Requiem for a Lifestyle. Returning to this town, I discovered the missing. As the buildings that have closed, I notice, and the changes of address and phone numbers. I am a stranger walking down these streets where once I stumbled. Those who have stayed have changed and grown, or seem just slightly tattered around the eyes. The person I meet whom I really hope I'll see somewhere again, doesn't live here anymore. Remember me, a stranger who came to stay a while. Remember me a happy man with a joke, a laugh, a smile. Remember how my actions spoke of God and love. Remember how I soothed you through my gestures and a hug. That is all for me tonight. It's in brief. Thank you for letting me go early. As people
Yeah.
can hear, I don't have a full voice because I'm dealing with tree pollen issues for the first time in my life.
Hmm. All right. Well, feel better. Is there anything you want to promote before we move on, or social
The People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle, peoplesmusic.org. We do things online and in the physical. We just had a 3-day event in the physical this last weekend, and parts of it are available to be seen again on YouTube.
All right, that's cool. Looking forward to that. Love that URL. And thanks. Yeah, glad you're able to join us. Hope you feel better.
Yeah,
We'll see you next Monday. All
I
right, Storm.
apologize to all the people I won't be hearing tonight, but
Yeah,
I
well,
gotta go.
the good thing about this thing is that we do have the video
Oh,
on demand,
cool.
so it is available as soon
Yeah.
as we're done. People can enjoy it, and that's actually how a lot of people do watch this show. Interestingly enough, so cool. Enjoy, Storm. Take it
And
easy.
and and Sue just posted that she went to the People's Music Network conference online and saw me there.
Yeah,
So
cool.
there
And
we
Sue's
go.
Yeah, perfect. Sue's back. Sue will be playing music a little bit later. If you guys are just tuning in, this is our online mic. Welcome. Hello, hello. Don't forget to say hello in the chat if you have not had a chance to do so. And what part of the world are you listening in from if you want to share that kind of stuff? Otherwise, we're going to keep this thing going and we're going to join our friend in Denver, Colorado. We have Michael Sindler up next. So, Mike, when you are ready, go ahead and take the mic.
Okay, yeah, feel better, Storm, soon as possible, I hope. Richie, everybody, great to be here. I'll get out of the way. LighthouseRiders.org. Once again, Lit Fest is coming up in just a little over a week. So if you haven't signed up for any of those classes, you better try and get them now. All those stuff that is available virtually. There are still some great things. Um, Moving along today, Miles Davis would have been 99 years old, and as somebody who basically changed everything 4 or 5 times completely before he was 50, just imagine what he'd be doing now. But of course, he probably wouldn't have the embouchure to do it, but that's a whole nother story. But I'm just going to do this one that I've done at least once or twice here before, just because it's one of the few things that I do that's sort of jazzy. In the alley behind the blue light bar, I'm sharing a smoke with Albert Einstein. In the alley behind the blue light bar, feeling the bumping beat of the bass drum on our backs as the worn wooden door reverberates. A sax squawk cuts like a saw through metal plate. Albert makes a joke I don't get the punchline to. He says, "Not to worry, I'll get it in time. It's all relative." Yeah, whatever, Al, I tell him as the cherry on the cig glows red as a burning sun in the almost dawn sky over the all-night diner with blinking neon telling us to break fast, break fast. Al crushes the butt under his heel, shoelaces dangling. He's not the kind to care about entanglement. I ask, "What was it you said you was working on?" "If I knew, I would tell you," he says with a grin. "It's all theoretical." I tell him, "I got a gig on a moving truck, making a room in one house into a room in another house. It's kind of magic, ain't it?" "Yeah, I get that," Al laughs. "Everything is magic if you see it precisely or you don't understand it at all. Either one muddles your mind." He pushes down on his unpinched fedora. It's cold out here. Let's get inside. Al holds the door and we snake back in through the hipsters and jivers and soldiers out on furlough hanging out at the blue light tonight. The trumpeter on stage blows notes that make your heart explode. You hardly need a drink, but Al's back before you know he's gone with 2 beers and 2 shots of schnapps. Whole hell of a lot of energy in here, I say as I clink and drink and feel the burn. If only you knew, says Al with a grin wide as a slide trombone. And this is another of my few jazz poems, and it's a haiku. Worst jazz joke ever. Morgan and Pastorius walk into a bar. Sorry. Miles would get that one. Okay, well, that is going to be all of the Sindler poems for the evening. I wanted to do that real short so I could put on a different hat for the day because we love Miles, but most importantly, it is Memorial Day. So I wanted to do some poems to celebrate that. And the first one is by good old Herman Melville, who did write about things other than whales, and this is called Shiloh, a Requiem. Skimming lightly, wheeling still, the swallows fly low over the field in clouded days, the forest field of Shiloh, over the field where April rain solaced the parched ones stretched in pain through the pause of night that followed the Sunday fight around the church of Shiloh. The church so lone, the log-built one that echoed to many a parting groan and natural prayer of dying foemen mingled there, foemen at morn, but friends at eve. Fame or country least their care. What like a bullet can undeceive? But now they lie low, while over them the swallows skim, and all is hushed at Shiloh. And this next one is one of the most well-known Memorial Day poems of all time. And if you don't know why people wear poppies, this is why. In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row that mark our place. And in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from falling hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. And lastly, another one by one of the great poets who was doomed to die young because of the war, the great Wilfred Owen. And this is Anthem for Doomed Youth. What passing bells for these who die as cattle, only the monstrous anger of the guns, only the stuttering rifles' rapid rattle can patter out their hasty horizons. No mockeries now for them, no prayers nor bells, nor any voice of mourning save the choirs, the shrill, demented choirs of wailing shells and bugles calling for them from sad shires. What candles may be held to speed them all, not in the hands of boys, but in their eyes, shall shine the holy glimmers of goodbyes. The pallor of girls' brows shall be their pall, their flowers the tenderness of patient minds, and each slow dusk a drawing down of blinds. So, keeping in mind all those who gave all, thank you very much.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Mike. Round of applause. Hundreds in the chat, flame in the chat, whatever you feel and you wanna throw there. Again, thanks for making it again. Lovely set too. Check out Lighthouse Writers. Good resource online and in Denver, housed in Denver, right? Based out of. Okay. Yeah, no, that was an awesome set. We're gonna go ahead and bring up, let's see. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be bouncing around here a little beginning. So we're gonna go to South Euclid, Ohio, where we have Doc Janning up next. So Doc, when you're ready, hello, take it when you're ready.
Sounds good to me. The fragrance of life. Traversing pathways of time, we are immersed in the fragrance of life. We luxuriate in its sensuous and sensual flavor. It sings to us the wordless songs of intimacy and longing. We see all the myriad shapes and colors of ecstasy, and we find nirvana. This is the quantum of each other. I would I could that. I would I could portray we two as an us, not as we. I would imbrue the image in the colors of forever beyond forever. Your hand in mine, mine in yours, as in a single glove. Your eyes and mine in intimate darshan, hearing through the same mirror. Our souls, twin baldaquins, and one of that, our souls, twin baldaquins, one of the day's blue, the other a starry mazarin. Our worlds entwined in the quantum of each other, a shared knowing. Our togetherness weaving a tapestry of love. And then, like Pygmalion's Galatea, it would become. Sorry about my voice. Let me grab a quick swig of water. This is as yet untitled. In silent, solemn skies of time lie abditories of the arcane, the sacred, and the profane. Hidden from the unknowing, the stravager, the flaneur, waiting those who seek with knowledge and an open mind. Waiting the moment, the proem, the apocalypse. Waiting beginning. And finally, also in honor of the day, I'm going to read a poem by a crazy character by the name of Doc Janning. It's titled Homage. On this day, this Memorial Day, we pay homage. We salute those now gone, those who gave their last full measure of devotion. We honor their memory, not just as warriors who sacrificed, but as family, friends, and citizens who contributed joy to their families, happiness to their friends, and their lives to their country. They served in many capacities, in many ranks of our armed forces. Armed forces I will now name. And here I ask the crowd if that anyone who had served or who had some family member who served to please stand. December 16th, 1636, the National Guard. June 14th, 1775, the United States Army. October 13th, 1775, the United States Navy. November 10th, 1775, the United States Marine Corps. August 4th, 1790, the United States Coast Guard. September 18th, 1947, the United States Air Force. December 20th, 2019, the United States Space Force. And there were others who also served and sacrificed. The United States Merchant Marine, the Civil Defense Corps, and the Civil Air Patrol. Now we render our final homage, our final salute, not only to those now gone who served, who came from our community, but to all who came from anywhere, who served our country and are now gone, as we all rise for the playing of taps. And then taps was played, and I thanked everyone.
All right. Thank you, Doc. Anything you'd like to promote or share really quick before we move on?
The only thing I've really got going on besides reading my usual reading for our city council, which was delayed from today to tomorrow because of the holiday, is on Friday. I will be reading for the ribbon cutting of a brand new urban farm in the city of Cleveland. They're all the buildings but one, which is being used as a teaching center, have been torn down, and it seems that way back when, before Cleveland was even a city, that area was a farm. So it's to me, I'm calling it a revenant.
All right.
So
Cool. Awesome. Well,
that's
thanks,
where
thanks,
things
Doc.
are. Thanks.
All righty then. Enjoy. All right, cool. Round of applause for Doc. Thank you, thank you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep this thing moving along swiftly. We have a pretty decent list, so I'm gonna try not to banter too much in between. We're gonna go ahead and now go to Pittsburgh, where we have Vale Larkin up next to share some poetry. So, hey, Vale, happy Monday. When you're ready, take it away.
Hey, good to see everybody. I'm going to do three today. One's short, and that's in the middle. kind of going a number of places today. First, an older one. A history of languages. Once our awareness of the world was written, storybook shine and fantastical, elaborate calligraphy. Now, click-clack tapping out our artistry and wishes, we smear intricacies, compress meaning. Heel to toe, we step our way empty, it seems, losing the bric-a-brac from our voices, our rejoicing. But oh, long before the first drops of ink met skin or paper, our languages lived in the world itself, spread out through its fractal capillaries, a lacework circulation of understanding. Do you know, in the oldest tongues they use sounds we discarded? They say we foolish children dropped paths of toneless exclamations and flourishes along our way into the stark, electric future, as though we spit out sparks, and they spread everywhere. What a strange evolution from the convolutions we enjoyed, dental, fricative, elemental and bone deep, the percussion of everything around us, the great heartbeat, the great breath, sucked down now and spat back as flat, laconic apathy. Do you think it was easier for them to speak with the birds, the thunderclouds, the great stalking stars? We hear silence, or only the faintest meaning. What have we relinquished to the grasping page? What deep matters have we cast aside in our greed, our unheeding penmanship? When Eve first called all the animals, could she still pronounce the names they tell us in our dreams? And then I just have two newer ones. 100 years. Their images on the screen, still life, crumpled parchment, crisp and sinewy. The women they are speaking to, almost always, say little and mostly sit, soft-focused eyes like the end of a race. What is your secret? They ask like swindlers, scheming to see where she's hidden the jewels. The smiles are small and sad. There are few words, the speaker too remote to be heard. The secret is lose everything, and you will see what time looks like. Thank you. And photographs of the third horseman. A boy's hand is clutching a battered aluminum pan, something we might have saved for popcorn or pretzels. The child's hand stands out, bone to valley to bone to valley. The digits are gnarled like an older man's hand, like the hand of a man who has watched his sons die. A crush of older men, like a curtain wall behind the boy and his last remaining friends. They're clutching their own dishes, in a line like washing up. The faces of the men are thinner, gaunt, and stark, with staring eyes, even narrowed against the concrete dust sun. A mother, or a sister, or a woman who loves children clutches a child. The child is bone and valleys, and the woman is gaunter even than the men who wait for food. The child is sleeping, like sleep is all that is left. The woman is drifting, slipping away with the child. A boy clutches metal. A girl sobs softly in the arms of her mother. A mother lies wrapped in a soft cloth like comfort, like she is loved. The men who loved her stand stark, skin and bones, valleys like canyons in their hands, their faces. The hoofbeats in the distance echo like they're rebounding from stone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vale, so much. Any links you want to share in the chat, we'll move that forward. I do apologize. I missed a big chunk of your reading, but again, I want to use this as an opportunity to promote the replay. So if you guys can't make our live shows, you can always catch it during the week, as well as all of our past shows. At this point, I don't even know how many. I always forget to keep up with that. I need to have like a master list, a master number, and I update it every week. But love the end of that. I'm definitely gonna go back and watch the replay this week. But we're gonna go ahead and keep this moving along. Vale Larkin, everyone, appreciate it. Okay, let me open up the list. All right, we're gonna come back to El Paso for our next performer. You may have seen him live in person at Rally Point Coffee East, but he's also here usually every Monday. Always rocking a cool figure behind him, action figure. But we got Ed Gonzalez up next. So Ed, when you're ready, the stage is yours.
Okay, hello everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you all. Thank you, BWOMS, for giving us this platform. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible. I got one new piece, and one tumble words and two covers. This one, I've actually been doing a lot of research in regards to the Ethiopian Bible, which has triggered some biblical rage in me. So there may be some triggers and sensitive subject matter in this piece too. So all are warned. This one is entitled Exodus. They parade their foul-smelling shit in a suit continues to embarrass. While our children need our protection, especially on the anniversary of Uvalde shooting and the police failures that followed now. Texas Nazis offer posting of 10 commandments as protection for our children, wrapping cruelty in scripture. So sit in your corner like the former Republican Party and attempt to remain peaceful, full of peace of mind for you and for whoever you counts on you, but at what cost? Is this the legacy you would like to leave behind? I choose to continue writing and speaking out. And when they do come to EP, set your DVR to record them attempting to corral me. It's going to be good. They will remember for sure. Regardless of how big and stupid their golden Cheeto-colored calf that they worship, they will be thwarted like the last time. And I would like to submit myself to not only set their golden calf on fire, but I will grind him up and mix him up into their water supply. As the fascist cult zombies. Granted, I did appreciate Charlton Heston smashing the tablets of Baal for theatrical effect. I still would enjoy working with my hands loading up those mega baboons with ground Cheeto. Fits right in with my nature. No offense to the baboons. So that was my one piece. New piece. This was shout out to Kit. This is Tumble Words. And it was the one from Bill. The one we wrote for Memorial Day. Memorial experience. We would hold our thoughts for the family. As my mother did not drive and things had to be coordinated. It had to be begin with acquiring supplies for food prep for my mother's famous potato salad. Hers and our contributions for our yearly Memorial Day feasting. Each of our aunts would bring in certain items and gather at my Aunt Hilda's house, who would supply the steaks, and my Aunt Annie would bring the sides. And my favorite aunt, Tommy, she would make her famous tapioca pudding. It was a significant event for our extended family, as every adult who had been involved in the military, my dad, all of my uncles, on both sides, were in theater. And all of my aunts either welded, operated phones, or performed custodial duties. So a good time for the family to exchange info and family ongoings and talk shit about those who chose not to attend our gathering. We all contributed to the preparation and assembly of the foodstuffs as the men were busy BSing and drinking their troubles away. And generally after food fell asleep on my Aunt Hilda's hillside home, there was lots of places to crash. About that time, us kids would circle around the tapioca pudding and make fun of how drunk each elder was. I realize how important those gatherings were for me now, and I make sure to hang my good flag on that day, as opposed to my regular flag, which is thready and a lot less shiny. So, and I'm gonna move on to my covers. My first cover is someone I'm pretty sure me read plenty of times. One of my heroes, Mega Sood, from this book. And this was entitled, Does Hurt Have a Gender? What does the body want when it breaks down into a million pieces? Its pulverized existence, wanting acceptance, only to be ignored and walked over, left over like days old milk on the kitchen counter, forgotten and left to curdle. Why do we keep numbing the sharp pain, the knotted lamentation, caught in our hungry mouths, which cuts our souls in both ways and leaves us to bleed in this world, perfused with sweat and blood, a moment indescribable, leaking and soaking in the ridges of the curbside. Here, the thickness of your body, its viscosity, and its gravitas in your speech depends on the color of your skin, a pain, untenable. An insurmountable pain rising in my mouth, dichotomy between pain and acceptance. A desire, an abominable. Does scream have a religion too? Do cries have a race? Does hurt have a gender? Do wounds have a nationality? Does your tongue curl into sin when you call out my name? Does the triteness of the ideologies still mollify your pain? Mega Suit. This one shakes my world every time I read it. And my final piece is a piece I moved around. I mean, that was moved around with some of the other pieces that were worked to our new poet laureate of Texas, Octavio Quintanilla. And this was entitled, Never Been to El Paso, Texas. You are black in the center of my eye black, like the map where I draw my faceless face, black with the blood of my bitten nails, black like the sharp edge of water that touches your feet and moves you to dance black, like the shore where I always lose you black, like the womb I draw with my awful longing black between the two lines of the notebook where I glued a strand of your black hair, black every time. I open myself with your names, 2 syllables, black when I try to blur of my skin with what's left of you black. Is what remains black like mist. This black trail I follow black in my days, cursing the hours, black like the sweet youth in your shame, black like the highway I drove thin to lose you black. Like the ink of your tongue, wake me black in that sea. Wake me black to your taste of your holy water. And Octavio Quintanilla. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you BWOMS, Richie, and the Monday regulars, and want to offer homage to those in the military and their families who also go through many other battles other than war. Peace, y'all. I'm on Substack, Ed Gonzalez Jedi, and also want to shout out to the El Paso Poetry Workshop. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Ed. Yeah, shout out to the workshop, all the peeps involved in that. All right, we're gonna stick in El Paso for our next performer as well. And you hear a lot of tumble words, get to see the great work she's doing. So, Robin, when you're ready, good to see you. Happy Monday. When you're ready, take it away.
Hey Richie, hey everybody, happy Monday. And a somber and reflective Memorial Day, I hope. And I'm going to read a poem about a veteran of World War I. He didn't die in the war, he outlived most of the people he knew. But it's about Siegfried Sassoon in the Great War, as they called it. Mad Jack, your men called you, but not for grabbing 2 hours apiece at Mametz Wood. 60 German soldiers, you alone cleared out with a bag full of bombs. Then read Virgil's Georgics down in their empty trench. You realize you delayed the battle? Colonel Stockwell chewed you out. I'd have got you a DSO if you'd shown more sense. What did you do? Just grin and say, yes, sir? You couldn't find that peace again so easily, for you earned your nickname, dragging the wounded out of battle on the Western Front. For that, they hung around your neck the military cross, which you later threw into the Mersey. When you signed up as a feverish patriot, author of pastoral poetry, they put you in mud and wire, the officer who often took the night patrol. 3 years later, after your soldier's declaration, you, shell-shocked, were charged with treason, and only Robert Graves and a diagnosis of neurasthenia saved you from court-martial. You lived to write the poems that harbored no truth unfitting about trench warfare. A young captain, old, still a cricket player, you never gave up your reckless driving. All right, and this one for Mental Health Month in May. The Schumans, this is a companion to my Schumann poem because the Schumans kept a joint diary. Like he would write in it and she would write in it the same day. So, from the Schumann's joint diary, February 17th, 1854. I have been awakened by our 8 children, but none of their nightmares were like Robert's. He's up with a start, shaking me awake as though I weren't already, screaming that devils and hyenas are grabbing him. Or else he's given over to the angel's language, making music out of the host. My voice, my gift of translation, how much lies in his tones. And so fully do I understand his every thought that I could lose myself in him and his music. Above the piano keys, my hands hover, white spiders above a sun-streaked pond. I am ready, I tell him. I inhale slowly as I read, the score fresh from the injured fingers he holds so close to his chest. So now I'm going to read a little bit longish cover poem about from a new translator of Rumi. I highly recommend her, Hala Lisa Ghaffori. And this one is called Bathed in Night and Beaming. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So this is, according to Ghaffori, this is Rumi's reflecting on the mind and how the mind works. Bathed in night and beaming, an unexpected guest entered our house. Who is it? Asked my heart. The moon, said my soul. Madmen that we were, we left to scour the streets in search of its bright face. I'm right here, the moon said, inside. We wandered farther and farther, deaf to its calls, calling out in vain. A drunk nightingale sings in our garden. A drunk nightingale laments in our garden. Who? We call out like mourning doves, hearing only our own one-note song. At midnight, a crowd hunts for a thief, and a thief in the crowd shouts, yes, there's a thief among us. It's him, it's her, it's me. His voice, a lost thread in a tangle of voices. When you're searching for something, search for the thief within, master of distraction. He pockets the moon and the nightingale. Search for the beloved, closer to you than you. Melt like snow, silent as a lily, the soul's tongue springs from love's soil. All right, that's my set for tonight, and I hope that everybody has a good Monday and stays tuned for the rest of the people. And yeah, come to Tumblewords if you have a free afternoon on Saturdays from 1 to 3 Mountain Time. We write a lot of cool poems in there. So, all right, back to you, Richie.
All right. And as always, really cool outfit. Love it. Love all the white. All right. So, okay, we're gonna do some more traveling. We're gonna go to South Carolina, where we have Swaggy up next. So when you're ready, I don't know if you were able to find the share option this time around. Let's find out.
I was, yes. Yeah, so if everybody can bear with me while I get that up real quick. Um, all right, so really quickly before I play the video, this probably was my most challenging but yet favorite song that I've done so far this year. The song is entitled "I'm Weak But I'm Strong," um, or as I like to call it, the mental health anthem. I decided to do this in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, which probably the majority of you guys know happens in May every year. And the song is basically just about finding strength in times of weakness and surrender. And yeah, this is a song for anybody dealing with any daily mental health struggles or suffers in any type of form, whether that's depression, anxiety, PTSD, that sort of thing. So without further ado, yours truly. I'm weak, but I'm strong. then try to love are the ones who make my heart shatter. They criticize me for having ADHD, then later say mental health matters. They say that I'm crazy, outright lazy, and don't want to do anything. But how can I breeze like leaves in the trees when I'm falling right into spring? Big Pharma wants us for our money, but isn't it funny how we let it all slide? They're giving us pills that probably kill and making us swallow our pride. These side effects may include nausea, drowsiness, fever, stiff muscles, headache, confusion, indigestion, and feathers that I might ruffle. Crows that's getting on my nerves. It's throwing me so many curves. I'm done learning about psychology. I cannot do it, so accept my apology. I'm yet for myself to be found. My head is in a new town. If you don't believe the words to this song, then stand up and say, I'm weak but I'm strong. No more lies from the government, even the press secretary. I'm weak but I'm strong. I'm losing my strength, my personal baggage, I will not carry. I'm weak but I'm strong. For if I'm weak, I know the Lord will carry me through. I'm weak but I'm strong. As long as you're living and breathing, nothing will ever stop you. I'm weak but I'm strong. Source for Christians, of course, is daily reading our Bibles. But lately we've been conforming to sin by worshiping drugs as idols. How can God be abused when he's currently confused when we abandon his word? Ask for forgiveness and bear false witness, to me that just sounds absurd. Pills and prescriptions became addictions, without them we would be lost. Over the counter, medicines flounder, we wonder how much they cost. Adderall, Concerta, Ritalin, and Vyvanse packing our brains. I guess it's called brainstorming, cause when our minds scatter, it always rains. We overdose thinking we're satisfied. Medications we take are advertised. We give away money to collect it. Pharmaceuticals are used as erected. How can my heart ever be pure if Xanax is making me insecure? Wait, I've never taken that before. But when you walk out the door, you can roar. I'm weak but I'm strong. I'm turning red, so let me hit Advil before I go to bed. I'm weak but I'm strong. Insomnia is hurting my head and wearing me out instead. I'm weak but I'm strong. My temperature's getting too high and I'm starting to feel hotter. I'm weak but I'm strong. To keep my temperature low, how about a glass of water? I'm weak but I'm strong. We waste our time in the Walgreens line trying to sit and relax. Depression and fear do not appear to stay on the supplement facts. Schizophrenia is real. Many people treat it as some kind of joke. Then once the laughing is over, karma returns and they begin to choke. The media still attempts to kill the innocent mentally ill by bringing collision and more division with politics gone uphill. They fight and fuss over whether to trust Big Pharma against our own will. But here's an idea, why not just introduce a new bipartisan bill? Their epidemic in service, not afraid, nor was I nervous. Thanks to our doctors and nurses, I'm freely delivering verses. Everyone here has a purpose. God has given me purpose. I'm only scratching the surface. Now I'm closing the curtain. I'm weak but I'm strong. No more lies from the government, even the press secretary. I'm weak but I'm strong. I'm losing my strength, my personal baggage, I will not carry. I'm weak but I'm strong. Whenever I'm weak, I know that I cannot strengthen myself. I'm weak but I'm strong. God is on my side and I don't need anyone else. I'm weak but I'm strong. I'm weak but I'm strong. I'm weak but I'm strong. I'm weak but I'm strong.
Okay, cool. I thought you would be back after that. Okay, yeah, that's a Swaggy. Mentioned a lot of put into that one, into that track, like the all rights reserved. Well, maybe at the end. Okay. But hold on, I gotta turn up my headphones a little bit. This beat was a little loud. Killer beat. Some nice lines in there. Yeah, so that's Swaggy out of South Carolina. We're gonna go ahead and come back to El Paso for our next performer. And curious to see about your set. Now we got David Latif up next on the mic. David, hey, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well.
Gotta unmute. Yeah, I'm going to read some poems sort of Memorial Day-ish themed, as close as I can get. Um, Starting with a positive and then ending up in the sort of more nuanced and complex things about today. So this is called Weekend Warrior and Brother I'm Holed Up in the Bailey. Weekends are strange for me. It's the weekend. Your friends are free to hang out. The only problem with that is that everyone else is free to hang out as well. Hanging out on the roads, driving so incredibly bad that I actively fear for my life. Hanging out at all the stores, having no clue how to shop. Hanging out while I'm stressing out. I need to get some sewing supplies, so I check Google Maps. Michael's, as usual, is pretty empty. The parking lots around it are not, because all the normal people are going to the normal stores right next to Michael's. I'll wait for Monday and go with the other unemployed autistic artists and bored grandmas. These next two were inspired by Bill's wonderful Tumblewords workshop last Saturday about Memorial Day and about what we memorialize. So this is called The Memorial That Looks at You. I remember in DC the Korean War Memorial, a haunting memorial for people. No pillars of power like the World War II Memorial, just a loose assemblage of tired men, hollow and exhausted. No matter where you stand, there is always one looking at you, desperate for something. I can't spend much time there before I start trying to give them something, to leap over the barriers and hug them, to tell them it's going to be okay even though I know it's not, to tell them this war thing is all over, we don't do that anymore, but I don't. I can't. So I go to the World War II Memorial because it doesn't look at you, demands nothing of you. The World War II Memorial is nicer. The World War II Memorial is wrong. This next one is called Killed After Action. I have a friend. Had a friend. I have no clue where he is now. He never answered his texts. His brother died after his time in the army, a self-inflicted wound brought about by the countless traumas that never healed. I have a friend. Had a friend. She never answers her texts. Who would call him every Veterans and Memorial Day to make sure he was okay. I don't know if anyone did that for his brother. I don't know if his government did that for his brother. I see them around. Humans, discarded like spent bullet casings, and I wonder if anyone remembers them. Forgotten on Veterans Day, eventually to be forgotten on Memorial Day. This last one is a poem that I wrote inspired by another poet I really like called Hannah Weiner. It's written entirely in semaphore flags. It's called I Am Disabled, Communicate with Me. I require assistance. I require immediate assistance. I am in distress and require immediate assistance. Do you require immediate assistance? I am proceeding to your assistance. I am unable to give assistance. I am proceeding to your assistance. I do not see any light. I do not intend to abandon my vessel. You should not abandon your vessel. I am in distress and require immediate assistance. I am proceeding to your assistance. Thank you. You can find all three of those poems and I think all four of them are up on my Substack, substack.com/at Poetic Universal Friend. That's where I post all of my stuff. Um, yeah, thank you, Richie, for running these. Thank you, Kit, for running Tumblewords. It's a phenomenal source of inspiration. Bill, I don't know if you're watching this, but thank you for running that wonderful workshop. Thank you all for giving me a home and a place where I can share poetry and experience great poetry. But right now, I'm exhausted and I'm going to go to bed. Thank you.
All right. Hope you get your rest. I've been dealing with that a little bit too. But yeah, as always, appreciate your words. Thank you, David. And and we'll pass the message along to Bill for sure. We're gonna keep this thing moving along. Still in El Paso, we have the amazing Lee Martinez Soto up next. Lee, hey, what's up? When you're ready,
Hi,
take it away.
I am bringing back that same format from last week with something old, something new, something borrowed, and we're always blue over here. So with something old, I'm gonna start with this one that is called Gender Fuckery for the Transfronterizo. I never questioned my gender identity throughout my childhood. There was no need. Being a tomboy meant I often dealt with comments made contemptuously about my appearance, my hobbies, my personality, and I used to embrace those. I took great pride when other kids would call me Niño because I like my hair short, my clothes loose, often imitating cosplaying men. Machorra porque podía burlarlos jugando fútbol and my fists could break through gristle and skin. Marimacha porque no me dejaba, my strength defined both in character and frame. As I grew older, I took these comments meant to put me back in my place as rebellion. I rejected femininity, put distance between me and girlhood and its closeness to womanhood, thinking it was because I was different, not like other girls. I was a damn pygmy, trying so hard to distance myself from those social and cultural entrapments that came with being assigned female at birth with disdain. But I could not escape them fully, no matter how hard I tried to fight them. Alongside those contemptuous remarks meant to denigrate my dissenting self, new words attached themselves to me. Puta, zorra, piruja, words enunciated with derision and hatred, leaving the lips of both the boys who had once taught me too masculine, one of them, and girls who had once wrote me letters as my legs carried me through fields and cheered for me when they hid behind me as I safeguarded them from harm. Males make the rules and laws, women transmit them, wrote Gloria Anzaldúa. I felt so alone, caught in the middle, wanting to be liked, wanting to be wanted and desired for who I really was. I had cornered myself into the trap of self-hatred and internalized misogyny. The deconstruction only came once I was a country away, cruzando el bordo, removed from the sources of derision, in the relative safety of knowing no one and owing them nothing. I first learned of my self-hatred way before I had the words to describe its origins, began building spaces where those who dare show the same derision I had been subjected to felt shame, fear. Then the words came, and for the first time, I questioned. My journey of gender expression is well documented somewhere on the internet, split between social media, chats, and forums. It started with clothes, secondhand loans from friends who entertained my ideas, then hair, every time growing shorter, shorter, and gone. Then the pronouns ella, él, him, her, ella, ax, they, and it, and a list of many names. Back home, del otro lado, I was still performing womanhood to an extent. Mexicana, chicana, güerita. Names and pronouns hidden under skirts and dresses bordados de colores con el nombre de ella. I split myself in the middle, mitad y mitad, but neither one or the other. At first, I tried to appease family, culture, society by hiding, but for the first time, I was not alone, and a lot of my strength and courage came from that. Males make the rules and laws, women transmit them. Perhaps I was meant to break them. I tore apart at the seams when I could not restrain myself anymore, for I contain multitudes. Okay, that is something old. Then I have, these are newer-ish, but I keep adding onto them. So if you happen to any of the writers' nights, you might recognize one of them in here, but I have added onto it. These are a little bit more like sensual poems. This is called Rainy Night with the Patio Door Wide Open. You were in my rain room, draped over the walls, swirling breeze and droplets hanging from your skin. With fingers on my neck, the tender brush of petals and wings of moths pressed against your lips, warm like ocean tides coalescing into my shores, the sacred geographies of you against me, and me against you, falling with the drizzle of this rainy afternoon. This is called Twirl. I twirl around the room, wallflower against the walls, only until I see you, smile like honey. And I sprout wings, fly circles around your light, fingertips barely brushing against exposed skin, melaza entre mis dedos, saccharine lips press against tender flesh, melaza entre mis labios, and I twirl again. This is Moonglow. Moonglow on her skin, she hides the gentle flicker of a flame trapped under her hands, pinned like moth wings inside her chest. Moonglow on her skin, flames brush against tender flesh, enkindling the cage, setting free the fluttering blaze. Moonglow on her skin, and the sun blazing from her lips, I hope she would set my heart aflame by whispering my name. And then finally, this is something borrowed. The original is called Striptease by Blanca Varela, first in Spanish, and then my translation in English is very short. Quítate el sombrero si lo tienes, quítate el pelo que te abandona, quítate la piel, las tripas, los ojos y ponte un alma si la encuentras. Take off your hat if you have one, take off your hair which abandons you, take off your skin, your entrails, your eyes, and put on a soul if you find one. And that is it for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Lee. Do you want to promote Substack, Linktree? We can push the Linktree.
Yeah, I'll share my link of the Linktree if you're interested in following like the stuff that I do and what I write, etc. Also, if you haven't gone to some Tumbleworks workshops, the ones that I have given are there and they're free. You can just access them, and I'll share it in a little bit.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Lee. As always, appreciate it. Love to see Andres in the live chat. What's up? What's up? And as always, appreciate you guys for all you do. Okay, cool. We're gonna go ahead and go to Tucson, Arizona. Switch it up a little bit. Our next performer is gonna play a couple of songs. I know I was on a brief hiatus because you were doing some workshops or jams, I think, right? But welcome back. We have Sue Schnitzer back in the house. Hey, Sue.
Hey, thanks. Good to be back. It's usually Monday night is bluegrass jam night, but that's over for the whole summer. Yay! So I'll try and get here. I mean, not yay that it's over. I really enjoy it. I thought tonight I'd do a couple of cover songs for Memorial Day. This first one is Angel Flight. I might have played it last year. The second song will be one that you all know. All I ever wanted to do was fly, leave this world and live in the sky. I left the C-130 out of Fort Worth town. I go up some days, I don't want to come down. Will I fly that plane called the Angel Flight? Oh, come on, brother, you're with me tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the Angel Flight, come on, brother, I'm taking you home. My family and I love this land, but tonight this flight's for another man. We do what we do because we heard the call. Yeah, some gave a little, but he gave it all. And I fly that plane called the Angel Flight. Oh, come on, brother, you're with me tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. and the stars are bright. Feels kinda like church in here tonight. And it don't matter where we touch down on the angel flight. It's sacred ground. And I fly that plane called the angel flight. Got a hero riding with us tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the angel flight, come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Yeah, come on, sister, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home. By Radney Foster. Yeah, that song, I get goosebumps even when I sing it. I mean, I've seen him sing it. I'm going to do one you all know. I learned it in a different key today. Well, learned is a relative term. You'll all know this one. It was written in 1955 and rewritten in 1960, which is when it became popular. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? A long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Taking husbands, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young men gone? Gone to soldiers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? And where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? graveyard's gone, covered with flowers, everyone. When will we ever learn? 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 Little Pete Seeger for you at the end there.
Very
Thanks for
cool.
listening.
Yeah, thank you, Sue. Do you wanna, what is it that you want to promote? Like you have your YouTube, I mean, you have Substack, you have YouTube, you have all this stuff.
I've got Substack and YouTube. I'll put my link tree in the comments. Yeah, so you can put it on YouTube and all that stuff.
All right,
Thank you,
perfect.
you
Thanks.
guys.
All right, yeah. Those bluegrass jams do sound fun, but glad you're able to make it a little bit yeah, Sue Schnitzer, everyone. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep on going. We're gonna come back to El Paso, and it's time for another episode of Short Story Theater with Mr. Monday Night, Kit Wren. Kit, you ready to take it away?
That's right. All right. Thank you all so much for spending your Monday evening with us. Got a couple new guys into YouTube, music and Dick MacGyver Anderson. Hope you're enjoying yourself, gentlemen. And yes, we are going to conclude Short Story Theater tonight with the final part of Sundown at the Eternal Staircase by Jenna Rose Nethercott. Great story. I'll post a link in the chat after I'm done. Been avoiding doing that because of spoilers. There are rules. Warning. Some visitors to the Eternal Staircase experience a side effect called step sickness due to an optical illusion created by the attraction's unique geometry. Step sick guests may be unable to tell if they are heading up the stairs or down the stairs. Should you lose your directional orientation while visiting the Eternal Staircase, do not panic. There is a simple test you can do to find an exit. Simply remove one shoe and drop it on the nearest stair. Whichever way it falls is down. Walk the opposite direction. Do not bother putting your shoe back on. Abandon it. There are other shoes in the world. The Eternal Staircase management does not reimburse for lost shoes. When June awoke, she was hungry, and Harebell was gone. Hare? June's stomach growled, or she thought it was her stomach. She couldn't be sure whether the hum rose from her body or from the belly of the Eternal Staircase. Hare? She called again. Seriously, where are you? A figure emerged from below. Right here. Harebell was smiling, swaying from side to side. Just exploring a little. Don't freak out. It was too dark for June to see much more than an outline, but even in silhouette, something wasn't right. Harebell's limbs were too long, her fingertips almost dragging on the stairs, her neck stretched double its length. June blinked, and when she opened her eyes, the normal Harebell had returned. Harebell had a plastic lighter in her hand, which she flicked absent-mindedly with a thumb. Light. Dark. Light. Don't you want to know what's at the bottom? Harebell's eyes were glassy, her words slurred, her hands trembled like leaves in summer rain. Each time she flicked the lighter on, the flame illuminated her for a moment, and with each illumination, June's heartbeat sped up. Flash! 4 protrusions jutted from Harebell's skull. Horns, thought June before the darkness returned. Flash! Harebell's eyes were gone. Just smooth, pale skin where they should have been. Flash! Harebell was naked, and a grapefruit-sized hole had bloomed in her stomach. June could see right through it to the staircase, boring deeper and deeper beyond. Flash! 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 Moving toward her, Harebell stumbled on a step and caught herself at June's feet. She dropped the lighter, and June grabbed it, stuffing it in her own pocket. In the steady darkness, Harebell's silhouette stopped its flickering. June's eyes adjusted again to the night. The horrors were gone. Just Harebell, shaking. Damn, Junie, you're so fucking beautiful. You know that? I love how beautiful you are. Come on. June hoisted Harebell up, and arms flung around her waist. Let's get out of here. Harebell gaped down into the eternal staircase. But I haven't seen it down there, she muttered. I haven't seen the bottom. Maybe some other time, but not tonight. Harebell hissed at June like a street cat, and June reeled back. Harebell cracked into giggles again, a thin sound like a bell with a broken clapper. Okay, Junie, if you want, baby, you can go back up. We're both going back up. June took Harebell's arm, and then, softer, she said, Please, Hare, please. June kissed the shivering girl on the cheek. Harebell didn't argue after that. June bore Harebell against her as they climbed back toward the rim. Going up was much harder than going down. June's heartbeat thudded against her ribs, Harebell's warm weight heavier than it should have been. A tug of war, June pulling one way, the staircase dragging the other. Harebell looked behind her the whole way back. If pregnant, asthmatic, or prone to bouts of prolonged heartache, consult your doctor before visiting the eternal staircase. Do not visit the eternal staircase with a sweetheart. They will grow to love the eternal staircase more than you. They will accidentally say the eternal staircase's name instead of yours while you're having sex. Make the eternal staircase a part of your vacation today. Visitor, we'll tell you how it ends. Though you already know. This story always ends the same way. Everyone hates the ending. But the story is told and retold anyhow. One girl clocks in for work on a Tuesday night and never clocks out. She is officially marked as disgraced in the employee register. For a few months, she's spotted now and then trying to steal food from the hot dog stand, trailing her fingertips through dust gathered on sun-warmed steps, sleeping on the western rim. Splotches of hair dye stain the public restroom. But soon, sightings grow less frequent, then end altogether. The belly of the eternal staircase rumbles against midwinter winds as if digesting a meal. The other girl quits, uses the money she saved working at the eternal staircase to buy a cheap car with a wheezing radiator, drives it away from the staircase toward a far-off city, New York or LA, gets a job writing for a lifestyle magazine, gets an apartment, a boyfriend, dreams of Harebell still some nights, but forgets upon waking. At least that's how we think the story ends. That's how it ended last time. Maybe this time it ends differently. If a stairwell goes down, it also leads up. It just depends which direction you're walking. Come to the eternal staircase, insomniacs. Come, bored teenagers from the cages of your small towns. Come from your weeping. Come from your miles of driving through bleached desert, lush forest from America's junkyards and factory lots. Come with your cursed maps, with your vices and wants. All highways lead to the eternal staircase, if the eternal staircase wants you. Come, you who were born with the eternal staircase rocking you, a pull so strong it pulsed beside your own small heartbeat. Come into the blue-black light. Come closer. Walk with us. We only offer this invitation out of politeness. In truth, the eternal staircase chooses who it swallows. And if called, you will come. Yeah, from the Fall 2021 Bomb magazine by Jenna Rose Nettercott, who's also a poet, does a lot of everything. That was Sundown at the Eternal Staircase. Very cool story. I I've done a lot of stories this way, just sort of like piece by piece over a few weeks. Makes me feel recharged, makes me feel like I'm not just reading the same 5 or 6 poems over and over again. You got to freshen it up. Speaking of freshening it up, the Tumblewords Project meets over Zoom Saturday afternoons. If you want to get some writing done, we're here to help you out. My very good friend Rachel Cachete will be presenting this Saturday. Their workshop is called The Creation Myths of Criminals. So we'll all be making some of those together to close out May. June's pretty exciting. June's not finalized quite yet. They put me in charge of something. Why did they do that? But June 7th, Kelly Mary McAllister, one of our many far-flung friends in Toronto, will be leading the first workshop of Pride. And it's my intent to get all members of the acronym for our June presenters. So that is the intention. So another great future for everyone. And I will be hosting live if you're in El Paso this Thursday at Old Sheepdog. Richie was kind enough to mention that. So if you're in El Paso, I'll see you there. And if you're not in El Paso, you got 3 days. Crank that engine. Let's go. All right. So we'll hand it back to Richie now. Thank you all very much.
All right. Thank you, Kit. Appreciate it. Also, thanks for giving me that spotlight. That made it so much faster and easier. Yeah. So we're gonna stop by really quick and visit Julian Matthews in Malaysia, who's next up on the list. So Julian, when you're ready, go and get you the spotlight. You can go ahead and share the screen already. Welcome back to the show.
Hi. This one is called between click and cliche. You may believe in past lives. You may believe in reincarnation. You may believe in karma, the soul, or a god. Or you may have the opposite view, that when you go, it's the end of the road. Kaput, finito, pochi, sailor. Nothing to shuffle beyond this mortal coil. In any case, one thing is certain, this is the most recent time you are you, embodying this person, living this life. You are the OG. If you only hold on to that thought and that thought alone, then every day is a renewal, a rebirth, your newest life calling you out. You don't have to wake up to be woke. Every breath drawn at the stretch of dawn, every grain of sand slipping through your hand, every teardrop, every smile, every hug, every chance encounter, every candle lit or blown away, every darkness unfolding before you in which you flounder, it is yours, and yours alone. Own it. It is to be experienced, to be tongued, a new flavor to try and make a fuss over, maybe even to savor, here and now. Whether it be the surprise of a joyous occasion or the delayed lesson from a bad decision, all that you really have is this very moment, this now. The yes and no of our daily metronome ticks away. No is a complete sentence, some say. But yes, maybe, perhaps, and okay, let's do it opens up many more possibilities. Not every line is to be punctuated with hesitation, the pause, the sigh, that sharp intake of breath. Fill in the blanks with your own will. Take it all in or chill out and just be. Life, after all, is the journey, not the road sign. Nothing before or beyond can be controlled, predicted, manifested. Take the ride and leave skid marks. It's the cliche of this wonderful life. Don't just scroll down, swipe left, or click it. Live it. And the second one is called Children of Lesser Gods. We drink from similar receptacles, a glass, a teacup, a mug. Is it a golden chalice full of ambrosia for you then? Do you fancy yourself a god or a demon? Is that why your mouth is an open sewer? A manhole to fall into and disappear? Cuss words, obscenities, vulgarities. As a baby, were you denied your mother's breast milk, perhaps? Did your father beat you? Hurt people, hurt people. My glass is transparent even if half empty. My teacups are to share chai with company. My chipped mug is my wake-up call at dawn, filled with the warmth of comfort at night. Come closer. Tell me why you speak in expletives. Who hurt you? When did it start? Why so angry? I too was so angry once. Let's unravel your story together. This begins with a liquid. To loosen the throat, soften the tongue, untie the knots around a hardened heart. I'm here for you. Let's talk. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Julian. Thanks for stopping by, sharing your poems or the hashtag not poems, hashtag not poetry. As always, love getting to read these out loud. Again, thanks to everyone so far who has been here. Oh, and Kit shared the link to the story in the live chat. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right. Let me take a look at this list here, and it looks like, oh yes, Sam is here. So making their way back, we got Sam Hardy joining us in New Orleans. Hey Sam, good to
Hey,
see you.
how's it going?
All right.
Got a little army cap on here. All right, so the first poem I'm going to read is a poem I wrote about my father called My Father. I stood before my father as they threw soul in his casket. I closed my eyes and silently said goodbye to someone I didn't know, would have wanted to know had I been older, braver, more outspoken. At that moment, I wished I was his son, so I could wear his hand-me-down ties and shoes like my brother did so proudly. To have hold of some part of this dead man here so close to me and yet so forever now far away. I remember the last time he hugged me, which as I remember was also the first time. He was a stranger to me, but somehow inside I knew he loved me. It seeped through his skin when he hugged me that one time, past his high karate cologne and minty aftershave. At that moment, I knew this man, this soldier, my biological father, would die for me. And the next one is called Unchosen Silences. When unchosen silences, oh, wait, and it's also a duplex form, so you know what type of poem it is. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Okay. When unchosen silences abound, people whisper silently inside. Silence whispers inside people like an old woman saying elderly. An old woman elderly saying words banned in a country no longer free. Familiar but banned in a country enslaved where freedom to express is slipping away. Expression and freedom slips away from us. With each banned word, logic disappears. Logic disappears in puffs of banned words. Woman, disabled, elderly, soon unheard. There are elderly, disabled women where unchosen silences abound. And where'd it go? Sorry. This one's called Silences. I thirst, so I drink. I hunger, so I eat. But what of the silences, the times we do not speak? Nowadays, so many words are banned, left unspoken, made taboo by those so very unlike me and you. So many silences to be broken. Is freedom now a taboo subject? Has fear replaced logic? I will admit, I am afraid, yes. So many thoughts in my head, unsaid. I regret my silences, my brief affair with restraint, a temporary dalliance with holding my tongue in a war that has begun, yet is ongoing with words that used to be overflowing. Equality, elderly, diversity, women, words that have been threatened, words they want to remain unsaid, words they try to imprison inside our head. Of all my life's past mistakes, I most regret my silences because the fact that they must be spoken is not an idea, propaganda, or an outdated notion. Don't you see? They fear us because they fear the visibility we each need to live free. The world sits waiting for fearlessness while being choked by fear itself. Voices swallowed up by tyrannies while waiting for someone else to fight the good fight. Silence be damned. We must scream with all our might. Their betting will be quiet and obey their every choice. But it's time to stand up to the tyrannies and have our own voice. I write this as a neurodivergent, elderly lesbian poet. I'm not a freak, a spectacle, or a token, but as a person silent too long. So please, listen up. Silences must be spoken. Last one is called, where is it at? Sorry. It's called Seen Some Things. Do the lines on my face tell a story of horror or grace? Can you look at me and tell I've suffered for my right to be free? Or is that eclipse under the whiteness of me? No one ever persecuted me for the color of my skin or called me a terrorist for my beliefs in religion, but I have been prejudged and spat on for who I love, more than just a smidgen. Do the bags under my eyes paint a picture of sleepless nights or endless delights? For I have had both and so much more. Trauma from love and pain one could hardly ignore, but since trauma is the hidden plague, if I smile, it becomes vague and unnoticed by all those because they think you're not really badly hurt unless they see you fall. Do my wrinkled hands paint a picture of the days full of strife, or do they show the gentle touch of loved ones held tight? I've loved and lost and loved again, had deep kisses that I thought would never end, and stab wounds that may never heal. But one thing's for certain, my life has been real. Do my wet eyes tell you if I'm happy or sad? Do you imagine my life to be good or bad? I've spent many lifetimes worrying about death and taxes, like most people do, but I've also carried guilt, regret, and traumatic moments. Fact is, I wanted to die a time or two. Does the frown on my face tell you I'm ready to throw my life away or grant myself another stay? I've had foreign adventures, kisses on ferry boats, written poetry I considered masterpieces. And what that denotes is that I've lived, good and bad, most importantly, survived, bled ink, partied, and most of all, I've thrived. And I've been close to giving up more than a few times. But now I take life day by day, paint my hours with rhymes, and enjoy the rest of my life one moment at a time. That's it.
All right. Cheers. Thank you, Sam. Do you want to promote anything for yourself? Social
I'll
media, website,
I'll
anything?
put a link in the chat.
All right.
Links in the chat.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Perfect. Glad you were able to join us.
Thank you.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah. And we are, if you guys are watching right now and want to ever share your own stuff, we're here every Monday. So be on the lookout for future sign-up sheets. I usually post them on our social media, which you can follow. Just type in Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. If you're on our YouTube channel, you can find all those links in the description of this video or on our YouTube homepage. There's like a link tree. There's a bunch of stuff up there, including our website, BWOMS.com. We also do have a link tree. If you subscribe to our link tree, you will get email updates as soon as we put out the new sign-up sheets, which I try and do it the day before, but between the wish and the thing, the world lies waiting sometimes. All right. So that was Sam Hardy in New Orleans. We're going to go ahead and go to Washington, D.C. for a regular. That's right. For some jokes and some poems. It's time for Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, when you're ready, go and take it away. Hey.
Hey, my bro, like no other words like thunder. Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Potasso. I'm feeling fantastic. Please take the time to enjoy my rhyme. Five feel sublime. I got 13 Memorial Day jokes and 3 poems, so I won't take too much time. I have a question to ask. Why did a soldier bring a pencil to the memorial?
Why? Why did he do that?
To draw his memories.
Oh, that makes sense.
What do you call a parade of veterans?
What do you call that?
A march of honor.
Ah,
What did the flag go to school?
where?
To get a little smarter.
All right.
What did one veteran said to the other at the barbecue?
Oh, what they say?
Let's grill and chill.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Why did the memorial service start late?
Oh no. I hope that wasn't bad for anyone. Why did it start late?
They were waiting for everyone to assemble.
Hmm, I see.
How do we know the soldiers are good at math?
Oh, I mean, well, in the Marines, you don't know that, but why for other
They
branches?
always have their addition in line. Why don't we tell secrets on Memorial Day?
Why don't we tell secrets on Memorial Day? Why are we?
Because the flags might be eavesdropping. What do you call a soldier who survived mustard gas and pepper spray?
Oh, I'm real afraid of this one. What do you call?
A seasonal veteran.
Aha. Okay.
Why did a soldier sleep with a piece of paper?
Why do you do that?
Because he wanted to dream up some great plans.
Mm. All right.
What did the memorial say to the soldier?
What did the memorial say?
You're a real hero for coming.
Well, that's nice.
How do you organize a fantastic Memorial Day party?
This is good information to have. How do you organize a great memorial party?
You plan it with military precision.
Oh,
What did the soldier say to the grill?
what did he say to the grill?
You're fired up.
Ah, get it.
Yeah. And last but not least, why did a dog join the army?
Oh, why did the dog join the army?
To become a possum soldier.
Awesome. Okay. Became a Marine by accident.
Exactly. Well, I salute to you, my wonderful, potastic brother, like no other. Thank you, Kit, for always answering my wonderful, wonderful poems. And what are we? We are Punch.
Why do you make me Judy? What the hell?
We are Punch.
I don't get what you're going for here. I'm sorry, but
Punchline.
oh, punchline. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Screwed it
Enjoyed
all
this.
up. I'm sorry.
It's okay, no problem. You did a great job. Thank you so very much. All right. The starting of my Memorial Day poems. The first one is called United States America is in one of our wonderful Finn Hall's anthology. All right, let me see what this poem is. Here it is. United States America is. United States America is. Why are you asking me? I'm arrogant too. Please read this poetry. Maybe we can make a breakthrough. History seems to repeat itself. It repeats time, time, and time again. The land of opportunity and wealth. When will this dream stop or end? It's not made from taxes. We're fueling senseless wars. Poor corpses were piled by the masses. Blood is soaking all our shores. It's not made from freedom. People are slaving away, using their sweat to fuel the system each and every single day. It's not made from dollars. The root of all evil is the food for the robbers with collars. All this is plainly legal. It's not made by the founding fathers. The Declaration of Independence is signed in red ink. The honor of slavery, bigotry, and copper, the market this represents, really stinks. It's not made from culture. We took something precious, made our own. We tossed the leftovers to the vultures. Who cares? It's not carved in stone. It's not made from firearms. Iron shards rain down misery. After it finishes, then you set the alarms. The victim deserves justice and sympathy. It's not made from our representatives. They're serenade us with sugarcoat lies. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Please watch how corruption rise. It's not made from the Bill of Rights. People misuse it every single day. They use it to fuel their fights. What more can I say? It's not made from the news. It's giving us half the truth. It's dramatic and flashy for the views. Can we educate the citizens, including the youth? It's not made of equality. No matter how much you advertise it, it's not in the world's ideology. This ancient conflict still exists. It's not made from our flag. The stars aren't united. The truth can make you gag. We are more divided. What does America mean to me is one big jigsaw puzzle. If you can understandably agree, if you say too much, you'll get the muzzle. Thank you. All right. This other one's called Bullets of War. Discretion can be revised. Do 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 do. Have a bullet for your name. My heart yearns for your demise. You're to blame for my flame. I'm going to kill you down to size. Why do I mercilessly hate you? It's because you're my enemy. This fog hate, no clear views. My dark rays has no sympathy. I slowly reloaded my steel gun. My fingers covered in angry bees. My shadow covered the sun. Run, run, run away, please. There goes one of your eyes. You loudly blare why. You fall, but your blood rise. You kept going. I whimper with a sigh. There goes one of your arms. You're my prey, but please go far away. You're disarmed, but I still mean you harm. What can I say that will underway? There goes one of your legs. The pain must be unbearable. It sounds like cracked eggs. What is next is unconceivable. There goes your head. I forgot what you said. All right. I hope you eat lead. The cold grounds are bled. The roses oozed and spread. There goes one of your hands. You're just a man. I feel you, but I try not to understand. Now your name is buried in dirt and sand. An image of a crying phantom. My body icy as steel. You can't find inner sanctum. There's no peace for your ordeals. Will it rest or heal? I hear your cries in my head. I wish it was me instead of you. I literally dread the future up ahead. What can I do or hope to do? There are no winners in wars, more losses and no gains. There's no restorations or scores. Please, no more pain or life still remains. Do I really need to explain? Thank you. And last but not least, this is called Joyride. Joyride. Do, 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 do. Take it easy. Do, 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 do. Here it is. Sorry about that. My tires hug the concrete. No time being discreet. Both hands on the wheel, the pedals on my heels. The wind through our hair, with a mind full of I don't cares. I'm just expressing my freedom, minus tons of unbearable criticism. Driving or flying across the land, while my stress turn to dry sand. The bright sun smiling up high. I feel like I can touch the blue sky. I can keep up with the bumblebees, while my stereo sings like a canary. I wish everyone could experience this instead of eating an empty dish. I wish everyone could be free instead of experiencing travesties. I wish everyone could be themselves instead of clothes like books on the shelves. I wish everyone could be healthy instead of fueling the bellies of the wealthy. I wish everyone could know peace instead of a release by an iron piece. I wish everyone could freely travel instead of tasting gravel, feeling so fragile. I wish everyone could be happy instead of crappy, feeling less than shabby. I wish everyone could be open minded instead of being blinded by being single minded. I wish everyone could have a heart instead of screaming darts smell like farts. I wish everyone could, I wish every dream could be true instead of pink glue on the bottom of your shoe. I wish everyone could work together instead of being storms in the weather. I wish everyone could love life instead of pleasing their appetite with a knife. I wish this isn't about me. Find your own type of free, venturing in life's sea. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Eddie, as always. Killer rhymes. Love it.
All the
How can
time.
that's right. How can people follow and support you online?
Well, you can follow me, support me online while coming to this wonderful open mic that makes our Monday night such a delight in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right, but if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman 92. And always remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to share my fantastic insight. If you take a guess, if you send me a quest, you take a guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Now stop spewing the one words inside your chest. Now stop being and feeling and doing your best. And always remember that you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow and never stop your glow. If you don't know, now you know. Oh, I love this show.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Ed. As always, appreciate the sign off as well. And with that, it comes to the point of the show where we bring in the closer of the night. Joining us from Papua New Guinea. Just kidding. Joining us from El Paso is Dan the man. All right, Dan, when you're ready, take it away.
All right. Um, just to let you guys know, just go with the flow. Well, maybe you have no idea where to go. Just propose to all in a no. Just yeah. Hope it's not fast, but it looks like it's slow. Well, what a way to go. Way. Yeah, speaking of day, Memorial Day. Yep. Well, it is the holiday at Bay. So, yeah, we salute those who we remembered our heroes, those who served our countries, like Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy SEAL. Oh, wait, we said that. And especially frontliners, first responders. Yeah, all heroes to name a few. So we salute them and always have the heart for them. Yep. So, yeah. And even though by far, I think somebody's a rock star, but not me. But it's always in the hard. Yeah, Florida hard. Okay. And yeah. So to be aware, the awareness of mental health and something that should be on the stealth. Yep. Well, Prime Month is coming. We had to go in full stealth and have full health, not half health, not empty health. Need full stealth. Yeah. Okay. Well, wow. That's not for freestyling. No one was styling and watch the aisle, styling and profiling according to Ric Flair. Woo! Yeah. All right. Well, okay, that'll do. Well, look forward for Pride Month and next Sunday as we start. And hope you have a safe and happy Memorial Day. And especially congrats to all the grads out there. But we are glad. We're not mad. So, okay, guys. All right. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and yeah, well, we're still in the night and all by sight, and this light by in the ain't no fight. Yeah. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
Okay, Mr. Rockstar, will do.
Hmm.
All right. Thanks again to everyone who tuned in. Just as a recap, if you are watching this live, catch us tomorrow, Tuesday night, May 27th at Mona Bar of Modern Art. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts after 9. That is open to any kind of performance art. So if you've been thinking about it, come on through. Wednesday, we will be doing our storytelling night. So, prepare a piece up to 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be that long, but you may get chosen that night, selected from the chalice, our goblet there at Storycraft. And then Thursday, of course, Old Sheepdog Brewery. Come on through last Thursday of the month. It's going to be a collaborative event. Like I said, I think there's going to be like a special pop-up event going on that night as well, featuring a toy maker from Mexico. But otherwise, we'll see you guys next Monday. Follow us online. My name is Rich. You can follow me on Instagram at Deadwall Reveries. And everyone have a great week for the live stream.